It was in the T4 Summit. It was in our tournament match. We had one literally a few minutes before we wrestled at Infinity and Beyond, and that match was a lot of fun. And literally like 10 minutes later, us and Culture Rank in the semifinals, and the match was awesome. It was going great, and we picked up the win, and that's all I care about because we were in the finals. So it was when we did me and Kailan's our finishing move. I did the lethal injection. He had the German suplex, and when I had the lethal injection, we just headbutted, and you can watch it back. We just his head hit mine, and there's really nothing that it was like one of those things like it's a freak accident like that happens, but people say it all the time, like wrestling is not ballet. It's you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get injured. Like you can't go into wrestling saying I don't want to get injured. You're going to have injuries. You're gonna have serious injuries. Hopefully you don't have anything too serious, but it was pretty serious. All I knew was that when I looked down, I just see blood. I saw blood just pouring like water, and I was like, "Oh, this ain't good. This is not good at all." And I hear the 3 count, and I was like, "Well, I guess we won." But like shit, here we are. So I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was my eye. I didn't know if it was my nose. So all I'm doing is just this. You can just see me like this, trying to cover where the area was. And I just look at Kai, and I was like, how bad is it? And he's like, oh my god, like this is not good. And I was like, Jesus, like this. I didn't know how bad it was. So I get to the back, and people are looking at me, and they're just like everyone's face just starts to drop. And that's when I'm like, this is really bad because I didn't see it actually until it was all stitched up. I didn't want to see what it looked like. So there, thank God, there was some.
Because what was this like in the back? Because obviously you're in the finals. I think you had one more booking that you didn't do that day. I think either Ichiban or somebody else filled in for you. In a match that you were supposed to be part of that you were there after support. But what was that even like? Because now you're in the middle of the Restival and you're injured and you have a match at Heavy Lies the Crown and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And what is this like? Because maybe if it was a bruise and it wasn't terrible, you sit out a match and you're okay. But then, you look at it and you're like, oh, shit, I got 10, 15 stitches in my head. There's no way in hell anybody's going to let me wrestle. And
yeah, it was definitely one of those, like, thoughts of, hey, like, I don't know how bad this is, but thank God there was someone back there. His name's Ryan, and he goes to every Wrestling Open show. And I'm thankful for my life for him because he had stitches on him, and he said, I can stitch you up right now if you want me to, and I can just, so you don't have to go to the ER and be there for however many freaking hours you're going to be there. And 35 minutes later, like I'm in the locker room, and the locker room turned into a surgery room, and he started stitching me up, and it bled into the Prestige show, which I felt awful about because you got the Prestige show now going on, and one of the locker rooms is blocked off because I'm getting my face sewed together. And altogether, it was my entire eyebrow. The entire eyebrow just split completely open. It was like 25 plus stitches. So it was it was disgusting. I think I posted the cut on my social media. So if you want to see it, you can, but it's gross. It's honestly disgusting. Like, and we had Limitless that next day before Heavy Lies the Crown. So it was going to be me, Kailan and Ichiban versus MSP and Ace Romero. So I believe someone took my spot, but Kai and Ichi still wrestled, and I was there. My goal was obviously to still wrestle on Heavy Lies of the Crown, but then like people started seeing me like, how many stitches was it? I'm like 25, and they're just like, well, it's like it's your eyebrow. If I just do this, it can open. It's not even about getting hit. It's just about making a simple facial expression. If you lift your eyebrow, it can rip open because it's such a deep cut. So it was just a lot of like, I'm gonna wrestle, I'm gonna do it, but then I go to the back and I'm like, oh, maybe like. I'm 21 years old. Like people always say, like, got to take care of your body. And like, if I don't wrestle tomorrow, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm not going to, my career's not going to be over. But it, like I said, it is what it is. Wrestling, like I said, it's not ballet.